Welcome to this week's almost abstract weekly outdoor and nature news, the time where we get to go and take what other people think are credible articles and go and tell them that, frankly, they're not. My name's Rob Yates. I'm one of your hosts this evening, and tonight I'm joined by the iron to my brew, the soda to my stream, the tributary to my river, the sheet to my sail, the old age home to the presidential candidates of the United States, and the F to my bomb. I'm joined tonight by my co-founder, Mr. Mark Hopkins. Evening, Hoppy. How's the world?
Even better after I just got compared to Joe Biden.
That's it. I just would like, we're not American, I can't vote, but please could we find some presidential candidates who aren't eligible for a geriatric ward in a hospital?
It's quite embarrassing. It makes us and like Boris Johnson look like he's just come out of nappies.
That's it. Like, I do believe that there is some wisdom that comes with age. There's also senile dementia, Alzheimer's, and a whole load of incontinence and a whole load of other shit that comes with age as well. And personally, I'd like the guy who's going to press the big red button to be beneath the age of 60 and have all of his faculties intact. What do you reckon, Mark?
Yeah, I think someone with the shakes is not a great person to look at have control of that football. Not at all.
Yeah, but I mean, if anyway, she might play the violin really well.
You're on fire tonight, aren't you?
I'm doing good. It's because I'm on my third drink.
It's
Guinness for dinner.
Oh, you bugger.
So, Mark, tell us, you've been in the outdoors this past week. Where did you go to? What did you do? What can you tell us about it?
I took my boy for a couple of nights under canvas. It was phenomenal. We collected firewood. We took nothing with us, basically, and scavenged and got everything together. It took me blooming half an hour to light the fire on the first night and about 10 seconds on the second night. Beautiful hikes. We dangled our feet over a 103-meter waterfall, which was pretty spectacular. I'm going to put loads of pics on.
I'll translate for those in North America. That's pretty close to 300 feet, by the way.
Okay, so 300-foot waterfall. So we just dangled our feet over there. I taught them about solitude hiking. We just amazing father-son experience. Got lost, got ourselves out of being lost by just finding a couple of points that we recognised and then keeping one on the left, one on the right. So yeah, awesome weekend. Getting lost, making fire, hiking, waterfalls, bit of no swimming because it got down to 2 degrees at night, which was a little bit chilly to sleep at night, but a good sleeping bag's all right. Lots of shooting stars.
Awesome. So tonight in this week's news, we are going to talk about why nature is so important, how now is a great time to open an outdoor business, what makes for an epic hiking trail, how the fact that no one likes bugs, and Mark's completely biased pick of the week from the We Get Outdoors tribe. Now, as you're watching this, if you enjoy any of our banter, random stuff that we come up with, or any humor that I may well try to deliver, please could you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, click that button and ring that bell. And then in the comment section, we want to know who you are and where you're from. So please go and put your nearest city, state, and country into the comment section so that we can better tailor the news to make it more relevant to you. I mean, there's no point talking about Canadian news if everybody comes from Australia. So go do that, please. Tonight's first item. Are you ready, Mark?
Yeah.
So tonight's first article comes from some website I have never heard of before, but it does talk about the healing powers of nature. Now, Mark, this is one of your picks for the week. Why did you pick this article? What do you think about it? And why should other people go read it?
Couple of reasons. I think because tree huggers had got a pretty bad reputation about 10 years ago, because everyone thought they were freaking off their face, nuts, crazy. But here's a stat. So cities urban areas serve as home to 84% of Americans. That's quite crazy. In 1790, the average number of Americans living in a square mile was 4.5. 1950, that went to 42.6. Today, 92.9. So just shows how everything's getting busier, and we just need to remember that tree huggers are really important in our society because they teach us that hugging a tree makes us feel better.
That's it. And there's now also mounting evidence that time in the outdoors, especially doing some exercise, can do stuff like combat cancer, anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, ADHD, stress, and so forth, because it reduces the cortisol level in the body. So really, what's not to love about getting out in the outdoors? Also, I've got another random COVID-19 corona fact. Are you ready for this?
Go.
So I was listening to a podcast with a doctor called Dr. Rhonda Patrick the other day, and she was giving data from the COVID deaths in New York City, which has obviously been hammered by the coronavirus and COVID-19. Do you know that 80% of deaths, or 81 actually, there was the exact number, 81% of deaths were people who were obese. That was a big big number. 94% of deaths were people were vitamin D deficient. How do you get vitamin D? You go and stand in the sunlight. Plain and simple. So, like, go in the outdoors, get some vitamin D, don't die of coronavirus. What a win.
Here's another interesting fact. Like this article, we mock a lot of articles, but I really like this article because a lot of people just talk about nature with fluff around it. They turn around and say, nature's really good for you because it will calm you down. This article actually has some facts and studies in it, which I quite like. Did you know, Rob, that nature can positively impact our health, including improving short-term memory by 20%?
I didn't know it, but I believe it because I experience it in myself. I go into the outdoors, go hiking, and I'm a miserable git who feels overwhelmed. And I come out of the outdoors, and on the drive home, I have like my best. I actually have to stop and pull over on the side of the road on my way home frequently to get my notepad out to go and write down all the ideas that I've had.
It's so annoying. I had that as well. I came out of one hike. I did a 5-day hike in the Drakensberg Mountains, which is what's the oldest mountain range in the world. And 5 days hiking, and I literally came out, I put my phone onto the hands-free kit, put the video on, and I talked for an hour and something the whole way home about all the ideas and everything I experienced. It's I love it. Anyway, this article is really cool. Read it if you come across somebody who's quite factual and dismisses the power of nature. Just give them this article, because it gives you loads of practical things of why nature's good for you. We all know it anecdotally, but now we can prove it with this article by Matthew Miller.
Oh, so you mean, oi, miserable fat boy, get off your ass and go in the outdoors isn't very effective to motivate people?
Some people. Dynamite also works. A chocolate bar at the start of a trail works as well.
That's very, very true. That's very true. And the candy fairy for my daughter all the way up a mountain works amazingly. Right. Next, we're going to talk about the circus. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The circus. So this is an article from that credible, very credible, I suppose, really, depends on your political standing, very credible, what do you call it? Publication. Publication. There we go. That's a great word. The New York Times talks about Rice University in Houston is building 9 big new classrooms, and they're building them in open-sided circus tents. Now,
how cool is that?
I think that's cool, but where do the elephants go to?
They stay on Noah's Ark.
They stay on Noah's Ark. And does the ringmaster, now, the ringmaster wears traditionally an outfit like a red jacket with black lapels, a white shirt, a bowler hat, so on and so forth, and has a whip that he cracks. Now, what I want to know is, are the lecturers going to be wearing a mask obviously, but then are they going to be dressed like a ringmaster?
Definitely. And do you know what all the students have? The students have to jump through the hoop just to get inside the tent. And then, do you know how they get to their seats?
On the top of a ball that they walk along like the seals do.
Nope. A human cannonball.
Dun, dun, dun.
They are
I thought you were going to say that all the students were going to have to dress like clowns. And having seen some of the students protesting in the US over the past few weeks, I don't think they have to try that hard to dress up as clowns, to be honest.
No, they're pretty good at it already.
They're pretty good. So here's what I'd like to know: what things are happening in your neighbourhood to get back to normal? What tents are being put up? What's your job doing that's a bit more creative than just saying work from home? Like, what's happening to get back to normal in your neighborhood? Go and put something into the comment section. Let us know. We'll go Google it, and we'll probably feature it in the next news.
Have you got this one though, Rob? This is a good one.
Go on.
At a Baptist church in Westerville, Ohio,
yep,
the pastor recently climbed into a scissor lift and conducted a drive-in service while he was 25 feet off the ground. Now that is pretty cool. Southwark, Massachusetts held outdoor meetings with spaced out folding chairs in a parking lot. There are people getting crazy out here in this world at the moment.
So this is nothing. I saw the other day a video of a child being baptized in a church somewhere in the US where the minister was wearing a mask. And you know, they go and put water on the baby's head. Well, he was stood at social distancing of about 6 feet, and he had all of his holy water in a water pistol, and he was squirting the water pistol.
He water pistoled the kid.
Yeah, he water. So you've got like this proud mum and dad stood like 6 or 8 feet back, holding the baby, and there's the minister with a yellow water pistol, like pointing at the kid, squirting the kid with the holy water.
That is the best thing I've ever heard.
Comedy genius, like that is
absolutely brilliant.
That is true creativity for you, isn't it? True creativity.
Oh, I love that. That kid's scarred for life, though.
Yeah, he'll never swim.
He's never going to own a water pistol in his life. He is screwed. That is brilliant. You've got to find that one. I want to see that one.
I'll dig that out for you and send and DM it to you. Other cool things I've noticed is we're almost going back to like the 1950s and 1960s. Drive-in movies, drive-in restaurants, drive-in concerts. I really quite like it.
It's so funny, hey?
It's so funny. It's so funny. Anyway, there we go. And what I really am learning about all of this lockdown and everything else is really, whilst everybody's got some great ideas and great suggestions, and in some places there's got some laws, mostly most people are ignoring most of it. That's what I worked out at the weekend. As I went to a water park at the weekend with my wife and daughter. There was bloody hundreds of people there, and I think I saw 4 masks all day. And you have to wear masks in public here. That's like legal requirement. It is a bit strange though. Like you do feel like you're drowning properly when you have a mask on underneath the water and you're trying to swim.
The fact you've tried that is concerning.
Well, you've got to give this shit a go, haven't you, really? So, there we go. Right, that's another article done. I thought that was quite interesting. Let us know what people are creatively doing in your neighbourhood. And if you know the priest or the minister who has been squirting holy water in a water pistol to baptise a child, please introduce me to him via Facebook or via the comment section. Because I want to have him on our podcast. I know he's got nothing to do with the outdoors, but I just want to talk to the guy.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
So, moving on. Next article. Right now, I love this. if you've seen any pictures online or news articles online of anywhere in the world where COVID restrictions are getting less, the queues for people waiting to get into local parks, state parks, national parks, so on and so forth, the queues of people are ginormous. I saw some people waiting to get into a state park in Tennessee the other day, and there was 9 miles of queued cars waiting to get into the state park.
How far? 9 miles?
9 miles. And then other places I've seen where there's hiking trails, like there's the usual trailhead where people park, and then people are parking for miles about wanting to get in the outdoors. So the demand for people wanting to get in the outdoors and do stuff at this point in time is ginormous. Now, wherever there's a demand, there's an opportunity. What's the opportunity for, Hoppy?
So this article, I just picked it because there's one company that set up a bike kayak rental shop. So my opportunity at the moment is that you can't really travel. Like in the US, you can't really go to California because the beaches are open or they're closed. You can't go to any restaurants open. So everyone's going to go inside the States and they're going to go on holiday. So if there's lots of people coming to you to do an outdoors, surely now is a really good time to open an outdoor business.
100%. Yes. Yes. And especially like at this point in time, the outdoor business that you want to have is one that is offering, I guess, what I would call the opportunity to have low threshold, i.e. it's not too complicated and not too hard, short positive experiences to get in the outdoors and do something cool, be it, I don't know, floating down a river, a green gym, an introduction to bushcraft, a hike, fishing classes, or maybe be the person that hires people the equipment for that stuff. I mean, now is the time to go and press go on that, right?
Exactly. It's if you're thinking about wanting to make a change, then when you've got lots of people desperate to get out of the house and cannot travel overseas or restricted, then you have a market available for you to tap in. So I think this is a good opportunity now, Rob, to tell them what we can do. So I think there's an opportunity. If you do want to do something like that, then please get in touch with us, because this is almost like what we do, hey?
It is what we do. The first port of call, Mark, is that 9 out of 10 outdoor businesses fail in the first couple of years. And so if I was somebody sensible watching this, I'd go and check out the link to, which I'll put in the comment section, or Mark, you can put in the description, to a training session we did last night on why outdoor businesses fail. Because I think it's really good that, you've got a great idea to go do something, but maybe you should go and avoid the failures that other people have had before you. That would be a top tip. So we're going to give you a link in the description to our training session on why outdoor businesses fail. And if that gels well with you and you like it, then there's an opportunity in that video, and probably in the description below, if you don't want to watch the video, you just want to go and get busy, to jump on a phone call with Mark and I and tell us about why you want to start an outdoor business. And we can offer you some advice and some guidance about how best to do it, what the things are that will screw it up for you, how you can make it work, and what it is that we could offer you to support you to make that lifestyle business your reality, as opposed to your one day, maybe someday. Because that's our day job. That's what we do. So, Mark, we'll put the link in the description, and go check out the video or click the link and book a call and come and have a chat with us. But there's many times where it's possibly stupid to start an outdoor business. Now is the time to go and put your foot on the gas and hit go on it. That's what my advice is.
I look at you. You're full of genius.
I'm there. In fact, if you go back and listen to some of the stuff I've just said, we've given some great tips about the sort of outdoor business to start at this point in time. Big Bear Gear is working itself towards kayak and bike rentals, but you have to bear in mind that Big Bear Gear is probably leaving 80% of money on the table by just doing kayak and bike rentals. They're missing a lot of stuff. So, drop us a line, get in touch, go set up an outdoor business and help other people have great experiences in the outdoors.
Look at us. We're here to help.
We're here to help. We're here to help. We're here to help. Now, the next article we want to talk about tonight comes from Boston.com. The 4 absolute epic New England hiking trails that are listed among the best in the US. Now, the 4 trails are the Lost Coast Trail. I could go on and tell you loads. They're all here anyway. I'll put it in the link. But Mark, I don't want to tell people what this is. What is it for you that makes for a great hiking trail?
So I think obviously the first thing I look for is I like the physical challenge of it. So that for me is something that I want to finish every day on the hike, knowing that I've pushed myself. So there has to be that element to it. I do like a nice place to sleep. Not that I like a bed or I want a hut, but when you go on those trails and you look and you get into that stage where you actually want somewhere to sleep and you just can't find anywhere. You can't find anything that's flat, or you can't find trees to hang up your hammock. So that for me is quite cool. What else is really important? For me, scenery and peace and quiet. That scenery is amazing. Like I think some of the hikes I've done where, when you walk, you get over a saddle and then you literally stop in your tracks because what you see just takes your breath away. That for me is really, really cool. Doesn't have to be marked. I quite like getting lost. I quite enjoy I like the sense of being challenged a little bit with orientation and getting my compass out. And so, I quite like that. I think a good hike is, a hike has to be really clear who it's for and what it's doing. So the hikes that I don't like is when they tell you this is quite a physically challenging one, or it's an off the beaten track one. And then every freaking 20 meters there's a signpost that says, go this way, go that way. It's like, don't bullshit me. So a hike has to do what it says it's going to do. Does that make sense?
Completely. I'm with you 100% on that. There is nothing more than somebody telling you this is for the elite and this is super arduous and this is that, whatever else. And then you find out that actually it's like walking on tarmac for a whole day and it's not really that far and not really that hard. But equally, like if you want to take your kid out for a short little wander of a hike, having somebody tell you that this is for beginners only to find out that it's not is equally as painful. For me, an epic hike, it has a real mixture of terrain. So it's not all desert, it's not all mountain ridges, it's got forest, it's got mountains, it's got desert, it's got waterfalls, it's got as many different terrains as possible into that, especially that multi-day hike as well. I'm not so bothered about where I sleep, but I do really like to be able to find somewhere to sleep near water. It's good, obviously, for cooking food, but equally on a hot hike, it's nice to go for a swim when you get somewhere as well. And then I suppose it comes down to scenery, some water. It comes down to the people. I suppose that's another. I need a hike to be that compelling in its marketing that when I say, "Hey, Mark, should we go and do this?" You're like, "Hell yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm in." Yeah. And so it's got to be that level of compelling because for me, the people I go with kind of make it or break it as well. And that's about all, I suppose, remote. The remoter, the better. I really like getting well away from the beaten track. I'm not a real big fan, if I'm to be honest, of hiking trails that are pre-established. I much prefer going hiking where I have to create my own route, which is harder and easier in different places in the world. but I really like that. Like, I've done big hikes in Sweden and Norway, and in the UK as well, where, you know, there's a map, and you pick a ridge line, you follow that ridge line to the summit, and then you drop off another ridge line, you go down to a valley, to a river, and, you know, you work it all out. I much prefer that sort of hiking to the trail that's all marked and easy to follow. But that's just me. What is it that you guys out there love about what makes a great hiking trail for you folks? Go chuck it in the comments section. Let us know. If we ever set up a hiking trail, we'll go and use it. But let us know what floats your boat when it comes to our epic hiking trail. So that now brings us to the fifth of the sixth articles tonight, Mark. Well, it's not an article. It's what's your Week Outdoors Tribe picture of the week, please?
So this is my completely unbiased, this is my most objective moment of the week, where I look at the artistic quality of the photo. I look at the way that they've used the subject. No, that's all a load of crap. I just look at stuff that I like. And this one is from Tyler Blakely. Now, the reason I picked it this week is, like, Week Outdoors stands for one thing, really, which is inspiring as many people as possible to get outdoors. That's what we get. That's the reason Rob and I set it up, is we wanted to create a home for people who love the outdoors, who want to share their adventures and experiences, and to get as many people into the outdoors respectfully, treating it with respect, and getting the same love and benefit that we do. That's why We Get Outdoors was set up. And Tyler put a load of photos up where he has taken a friend of his for the first time into the outdoors and just shown her what the outdoors is about. Got her on a kayak, got her on the water. So for me, Tyler just epitomizes what We Get Outdoors is about, which is inspiring others to get outdoors. So Tyler, thank you very much for converting another person to the outdoors, and please invite them to join the tribe as well.
Superb. Great work, Tyler. I've just tagged you in. And now we come to the last article of the evening, released by CNN. And it is something that I think everybody can agree with and learn something from. And that is everything you need for a bug-free summer in the outdoors. So there's some interesting tips. Mark, what's your take on this article?
So I love Naked and Afraid. I think it's such a cool program. And I look at it and go, I would love to do something like that. But there's two things that I struggle with. One is a lack of sleep. Now, I had an illness a number of years ago, which it does mean that I do need a bit of sleep. So when I look at Naked and Afraid and I look at how little sleep they get, that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And then the second thing is just watching these poor people getting eaten alive. I can just imagine, I've been there. I've been into situations where I've just been eaten, and to do that for 21 days. So I just thought, if you're going to go on Naked and Afraid, this is a pretty good article to read, that somehow you can sneak onto the program that means you get a little bit of sleep.
This article really is the list of all the things you're not allowed to take on Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. That's why you got. I think the one that's the easiest thing to get onto Naked and Afraid probably would be the magnetic screen doors. I think that you could sneak on without any issues.
Magnetic screen doors. What we really should be doing is saying, here you are, E.J. Snyder, who we've interviewed. We're sorry you got bitten by a mosquito on your exceptionally large penis. That's really what we should be saying.
Well, it wasn't big until he got bitten, and then it grew.
Then it swelled. There is some sensible, affordable stuff on here that we could take genuinely into the outdoors to go hiking with. Things like a citronella candle, insect repellent that's got DEET in it, or essential oil-based insect repellent. But what
the best one though, Rob?
Where do I plug in the high-velocity quick mount outdoor fan?
Yeah, but the best one on this by a country mile is the gun.
Oh, look at that!
This is a gun that shoots salt at unwanted flies and bugs around you. Imagine that. You're just sitting there with your gun and just shooting at it. That by far is the one thing I want to buy. A Bug Assault 2.0. How much is it?
$40.
$40.
If Amazon delivers to South Africa, I'm having one. That would be amazing fun. I could shoot my daughter with it.
Imagine how, just the coolest thing, just shooting this gun at bugs. You've got to be a pretty good shot to shoot a fly or a bug.
It's like that Mr. Miyagi thing in The Karate Kid where he gets the fly with a pair of chopsticks. Like, how do you shoot a grain of salt at a mosquito and hit it?
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. Anyway, that's my favourite thing by a long, long way. Awesome. Salt shooting gun.
So if you're looking for an article that's about hiking, please don't look at this. But if you're looking for something about how you can go and sit outside on your veranda and enjoy the veranda or something in your garden or on a campsite even, where you can unpack your truck full of loads of crap and you've got mains electricity as well, then this offers some really good solutions for you as well. It's interesting. There's a business here called Thermacell that looks like it's ripped off Thermarest because it uses exactly the same font and logo as Thermarest. Oh, there could be a trademark issue.
Look at you, hey. That's another top tip, practical tip there. We've been quite practical again tonight, haven't we?
I know. I've tried to put in a few swear words and a few other funnier things as well, but, there we go. So that brings us to the end of this week's news. Generally speaking, I'd like to say that this week's news has been a marked improvement on previous weeks because really, we actually agree with most of the news. It's not just a load of BS as we normally get sent by Google. Mark, any closing thoughts from yourself?
I think they've, like you said, I think they've been quite practical, quite good articles this week. And also it's been quite nice. Apart from you bringing up your coronavirus story, most of them have actually had nothing to do with lockdown or coronavirus this week.
That's very, very, very true. Very true indeed. So that's it from us. We're bringing back the adventure. What we'd ask you to do, if you want to set up your own outdoor business, go and find the link in the comment section or in the description, book a call and come and have a free 45 to 60 minute consultation with Mark or myself about setting up your outdoor business. Learn from our failures, learn from our successes, and let's see if we can help you turn that outdoor business dream into your outdoor business reality. My name's Rob Yates and you are incredible.